What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh and welcome to Thorium Gaming, and it's time to get our Merc on. So, last time we were going to go do the Arano restoration mission, and, well, the Flashpoint expansion came out, and we had to test out some of the new mechanics, the new cover system, getting our pilots in place, and having played a lot of the other mode that's now in the game, along with a bunch of other stuff, I am so stoked for the Urban Warfare, I think it's called, expansion that's coming up for this. I mean, Harebrained, Paradox, they've done an amazing job with this, and I can't be happier. As a big-time Battletech fan, they've given us so much, and it's amazing to me. Though, getting used to the new cover mechanics did kind of screw up a few of our mechs, and if we're looking over in our timeline here, our Centurion, Vindicator, Shadowhawk, Jägermech, and Enforcer are all kind of out of commission right now, leaving us just a Blackjack ready to go, at least for a day. And then we'll have 2, and then 2 days we'll have 3. The Arano restoration mission is 16 days away from us if we take the jump. So what I think we're going to do is we are going to let the timeline play a little bit, do the financial report for this month, just keep it at normal morale, and let our Enforcer click down to about 15 days, and then we'll make the jump. It's going to cost us a little bit of extra C-bills, because once we start transit, we'll have another financial report in there. There we go. But we can go get set up on the Arano restoration contract. So, the liberation of Panzer. Proceed to Panzer, where you will assist the Restoration Army's efforts to liberate House Decimus. The Restoration Army intel suggests that a lance built with long-range fire capabilities could prove advantageous on this drop. Further details will be provided upon arrival. And our liaison officer, I guess? This is our first big push to liberate a founding house from the Irigian Coalition. I don't know what to expect any more than you do, but it's just rolling in with the best mechs we've got. You know, just in case. Alright, Darius, we can go with that. So let's travel to Panzer. And again, more of the cinematic stuff they've added to the game. The dropship and the Argo entering and leaving systems has been tuned up a lot. Like, this is a new cutscene too, showing the engines being used to slow down the mass of the ship. Oh, reading in the corridor. Running a corner in an unused corridor, you nearly trip over Ryan. It's kind of ironic when real life and our altered lives kind of meet. I know Ryan is a massive bibliophile, so this could be cool. The mech warrior sits in a heap on the floor, nose deep in a dog-eared, honest-to-goodness paper book. Which wouldn't be unusual if you know the lady. She looks up. "Oh, Commander, am I in your way? I need to get out of the barracks. It's just no good place for me to read." You gesture at the book and she hands it over while you idly flip its pages. Ryan asks, "I heard there's a disrepaired library here in the Argo. I think we could get that online?" Well, let's ask her about the book she's reading. Spying a familiar chapter heading, you recite a line from Karl von Clausewitz, "Only a fraction of book learning will seep into practical life anyhow. The more foolish the theory, the less of it." Ryan laughs and takes back the book. "That's awesome, Commander. I was reading Clausewitz just now." You nod. "I see you're paying attention. He also spoke about the fog of war, and right now you're blocking line of sight in this corridor. Best move along, mech warrior." There's some experience for Ryan. What would it take to get the library back online? Well, we have a lounge, but the lounge isn't what we're looking for. The full-on library requires beta pod, which is a massive, massive investment of funds. Almost 1,000,000 C-bills and a huge upkeep. We can't really do that right now. But to help out with morale, it's 450,000 worth the +1 morale right now. We are kind of low on C-bills. It'll just have to wait. So unfortunately, Ryan, as much as I'd love to get the library going, because I like my books too, we're going to have to wait. At least you're not taking the ship apart. Yes, I'm looking at you, Chaplain. Just don't do it. Taking the ship apart, jeez. Alright, so we are still traveling all the way to Panzer. We'll have our Enforcer back. We'll have a good setup for our Lance as we set down. And hopefully we'll be able to do something really good for the restoration. They've been great clients, but more than that, Lady Arano is actually trying to win this for the right reasons. Alright, we are at Panzer, so let's proceed with the mission. Our mechs are all up and running, so let's get to it. Alright, so Mr. Madeira, welcome to Panzer, Commander LeBlanc. Lady Arano and the Restoration Army are already fighting on the planet's surface, and have been for weeks. With the aid of House Decimus' ground support facilities, Miss Meyer will carry your Lance through Panzer's orbital debris field and drop you on the surface. You okay with this, Sir Meyer? I don't want to crash anything. Oh yeah, Commander, no sweat. With the kind of navigation support I'll be getting from the ground control, I could take us through the field with my eyes closed. Please don't. There's still holes in the superstructure. Let's keep going. What happens after we're on the surface? Lady Arano wants your Lance behind enemy lines while she leads from the front. You will harass the Directorates supply train and target valuable military hardware. She already has a target list drawn up for you. Hold that thought, Lord Madeira. Commander, I'm getting a tight beam communication from the planet's surface. It's Lady Arano, and it looks urgent. Putting it on screen now. Drementfh, you couldn't have arrived at a better time. Our forces on the surface desperately need your help. With the support of House Decimus, we're making our final push against the Directorate's last major stronghold. Our forces are fully committed to the attack, and we're pushing them back, but the Directorate just seized control of Panzer's only remaining spaceport. Lady Arano, I respect you. I respect what you're trying to do. Don't you plan these things out? With it, they'll be able to call down reinforcements at will. I need someone to take the spaceport's control center away from them. Dreamin', that someone is going to have to be you. This means that Miss Meyer will need to carry you through the debris field unassisted. I hope that her skills are up to the task. Don't we all? Well, this just got more interesting. I'm afraid there's more. Alexander, I've just received a message from Lady Cantrella. There's been a major incident on Perdition. Looks like a terrorist action. A chemical attack against the port city of Harlow's Landing. Initial casualty reports that some 11,000 dead. That's an atrocity. My sentiments exactly. How have the Taurians responded? In predictable fashion, Protector Calderon is claiming that the attack was an act of Davian aggression in violation of the Ares Conventions. He's already calling it the Perdition Massacre. For their part, the Davians have denied all knowledge of the attack. House Davian wouldn't do that. Their denials will fall on deaf ears. Calderon won't believe anything that House Davian has to say. This is going to accelerate our timetable. We need you to retake your throne before this situation gets any worse. If war was to erupt between the Federation and the Concordat, it could easily spill into the Reach, and we can't afford that kind of chaos. Yeah, I can't say I like the idea of a couple of superpowers inserting themselves between our campaign. Then we better push forward before that happens. I want you to proceed with the drop. And Drementfh, I'm expecting this deployment to be a difficult one. Bring your best, and may the gods grant you victory. We will all be counting on your success. No pressure, then. You heard the lady. Thorium, best get to it. Meyer, I'm going to go ahead and trust that you've got this. Do me a solid and try not to scrape the leopard's paint on your way down. Yeah, so I'll do my best. Alright, well this got really interesting really quick. That pretty much looks like how we're going to have to go for the setup. It's only a 2-skull drop, and it's a polar mission, so our energy weapons are going to cool down really, really quickly. What does our Centurion have on it? Nothing really great. It's long range, so everything we've got right now is pretty much long range. And we're kind of dealing with what we got, so I guess we're just going to have to deploy as is and hope for the best. Alright, so Commander, I'm glad you made it. Navigating Panzer's debris field unassisted is no small feat, even for a ship as small as the Leopard. Miss Meyer is to be commended for her skill. No sweat, Lady Arano. Just don't ask me to do it again. You won't have to. Restoration strike teams have already joined forces with the 2nd Decimus Fusiliers to engage the enemy on multiple fronts. We have them at a disadvantage, but if they manage to bring in reinforcements, we're in trouble. I need you to engage the enemy, locate their dropship control center, and destroy it. Without ground support, their ships won't be able to navigate the debris field. The Directorates' troops on the surface will be cut off, and our combined forces will sweep them away. So we've got to destroy that over there. And Lieutenant Karen Andrus. Sorry to interrupt later on, but we've just intercepted a transmission from the ADV Koronok. They're requesting navigational aid. Sounds like they're on their way down. If that ship lands, our bid to hold this system fails. I need you to take the control center out before the Koronok touches down. The second can help with that. We have a Leopard full of engineers heading your way, Commander. I'll need you to clear us a path to the spaceport security headquarters, take out their vehicles, and make us some breathing room, and we'll turn the turret defenses against them. Oh, goody, we're actually getting help this time! That's the plan then. We'll use the turrets to cover your approach. As soon as we have the turrets under control, the Directorate will begin firing on them. Use that as a distraction, or engage the enemy to protect them. It's your call either way.
Good hunting, Commander.
Alright.
We'll bring down the control center, and we'll handle the rest. Good luck.
So we need to clear this area out to get the turrets on our side. I want the Jägermech in cover as much as possible. It's maybe a heavy, but it's a sniper heavy. I don't think anything down there is going to give us some cover for Phoenix. Let's get him over there. I think this is one of the first missions where we start seeing a very, very particularly bad thing for battle mechs, which are SRM carriers.
Copy that.
They're pretty devastating, all things considered. Commander, I'm seeing Directorate SRM carriers on radar. I recommend engaging them at long range. They'll take you apart if you get in close. A little bit of foresight. Doesn't hurt. Alright, so what we got that we can see right now? We've got a Bulldog, a Striker. There's an SRM carrier. They're all Initiative 1, but we want to take out as many of them as we can. So Ryan, you've got medium lasers and the AC-10 in that Enforcer. It's not really anywhere we can move you. It should give you cover there, and put you in a position to pop that SRM carrier. Please be accurate. SRM carrier down.
Vehicle fragged.
Because in addition to being just a general pain in the butt...
What's up, Bot?
Is there another SRM carrier there? It is. In addition to being a general pain in the butt, all missiles tend to affect your stability a heck of a lot more. So if we can knock out
Target acquired.
all of the missile launchers up here quickly, we're still going to have at least one vehicle on grid with us. Yes, I'm going to use the term on grid. Because we can't really destroy everything this turn. We don't know what this is, I don't think. No, it's still just a sensor contact. We got a Striker and we got a Bulldog. We move Phoenix over into these woods here.
Affirmative.
Should be able to knock out the Striker. Or not. That's kind of a bad situation. The Jägermech has a lot of long-range firepower, and it is a heavy, so we'll see if this is another SRM carrier, we can just knock it out. If it's not, it doesn't look like it. It's another Bulldog. We can pop that from over here, though. Didn't really pop it, but we'll deal with it as it comes. So we have 14 rounds to actually destroy the sensor, or the orbital control center. There's a lot of armor coming off the Jägermech. I'd love to walk over and shoot these guys, but very much doubt they're going to let me get in melee range of them. As soon as we have turret control, though, we can kind of use the high ground to our advantage. Ooh, there's a decent hit on the mech.
Armor breached. Internal damage.
Alright, Ryan, are you in range to melee anything? You are not. So let's just advance you. And since we did get an inspired tag, we can use a precision shot to completely void the striker's evasion.
Engaging target. One for the scrap heap.
At least we didn't have to deal with either of the SRM carriers coming after us. That would generally have been a bad thing. Let's have Bloodwind jump over here. Take a nice little pot shot into this bulldog.
Engaging with target.
And now we only have one enemy vehicle left. And 4 rounds to kill them off in.
Ready to get it on.
And even Phoenix isn't in melee range. Which is a shame, but we'll move him to get some more stability.
Taking the shot.
That really didn't help. But he's a brawler. He can handle it. I can actually just move up a tiny bit. And I'll use the last of our inspiration for this turn to precision strike this guy. And we should have the turrets online.
All weapons committed.
And that didn't kill him! That looked like a turret that we haven't yet taken over, taking some pot shots at us. Saw a couple of internal hits, and I got hurt.
Mech warrior injury.
For the most part, that's okay, though. The Bulldog's now in a place where it's going to get meleeed. And I can kind of keep the Mech somewhat in a good position. Go step on him, Ryan.
Attempting physical attack.
Alright, nicely done, Commander. Lieutenant Andrus, your approach to the security HQ is clear. Roger that, Lady Arano. We'll have their turrets under friendly control in just a moment. Engage the forces guarding the control center. Let's make these turrets count.
Move her down.
Alright, so now we're getting sensor returns on some of their stuff.
Waiting for orders.
Bloodwind, since you jumped up there, we're going to have you jump over to here and probably swing down this way, use the woods as your cover, sneak over, jump in, and you'll be the one taking care of the control center while we deal with whatever enemy forces happen to be aligned against us.
Got something you want done?
Really don't know what they've got, but we can take a quick peek by moving our Shadowhawk up. They've got a Centurion. Let's go for a right torso shot. Not too much damage, but it didn't tickle him either. As for the Mech, we have a shot on that guy from over there, and it's in cover. So let's fire off and see what happens.
Engaging target.
Only expose the structure. That won't hurt us. Autocannon and LRMs. Not sure what chassis that would be.
Hey, watch the paint, pal.
Directorate Mech Warrior. Ignore the turrets and concentrate your fire on those battle mechs. We must protect the control center. If our reinforcements can't land, we're all dead. Now fight for the Directorate. That's a dragon right there. Got a Panther. Jenner, so 2 lights. Alright, Ryan, you can go take a shot at that Centurion before anything else happens. I do like the Enforcer chassis, so I can kind of use that against them. Only your AC-10 can hit? It's fine. Still take off some of his armor. And a trebuchet. A very, very solid missile boat, if you want to call it that.
Order.
Now let's actually take a look what we got here. The Panther's down in the woods. They've got a hunchback, a dragon. There's a trebuchet. Do they have anything else beyond that? Doesn't really look like it. But if we pop Bloodwind over here, she'll be out of line of sight of all of them. We can at least fire off her missiles. Probably that Centurion.
Taking the shot.
And then we can back Phoenix up a little bit, because that Hunchback's an autocannon version of itself. Which is probably a good thing, because if it was a missile-based Hunchback, we might be in a tiny, tiny bit of trouble. Not missile-based, medium laser-based. The Laserbacks. Swear I can think clearly sometimes. Right arm and right torso destroyed. Side torso means a pilot injury, but that should take out most of its threatening weapons. It's still got some LRMs and stuff in it. Looks like a couple of lasers in the chest. But it's nowhere near as bad as it could be. Then we'll take the good old Sniper Jägermech, move it to keep its evasion up. We don't have a precise shot, so we're getting 55% on the Hunchback. It's probably our best option right there. And that'll be the dragon moving. Dragons look really intimidating, especially with the shark face paint job, but they're very weak on armor. Now our turrets are just straight up coming out and doing some work for us. There's a pilot injury for the dragon. These turrets are really doing some help. Let's see where that Panther goes. The Jenner does worry me a little bit. It's going to be more effective on a cold planet like this than, say, other mechs would be. We can move Phoenix back down a little bit since the light mechs have already gone. We can take some pot shots at that Jenner. See if we can do some damage to it. We can actually precision strike it. Try to core it. They don't have that much armor, to be honest. The Centurion is screwed up a little bit. I understand now why they said long-range mechs would be probably the most beneficial on this map. Now, Ryan, we could jump you down and run you around this side too to keep them off balance. I think that's what we're actually going to do. You've always been aggressive when we've used you, so we might as well. We have 10 rounds.
Taking the shot.
We exposed the armor on that one. Now, it's the trebuchet that worries me a little bit. That has a lot of missiles. Most of which missed Ryan. So that's kind of okay.
Commander.
Bloodwind, if we jump you over here... Actually, let's jump you a little bit higher up. keep you as far away from that hunchback as possible. You can take some shots at the little panther. Now they'll get to move the remaining mechs in their lance. It's more than a lance. 4 mechs is a lance. And then our turret buddies should be able to jump into this whole thing. Oh right, I forgot. I haven't moved yet. Got a feeling that because of how the Agromech's set up right now, we're going to be using the autocannons as sniper weapons a whole lot.
Engaging target.
There was a crit.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
There's the dragon moving. We'll have to jump Ryan into those woods on her next turn. But we'll see what the turrets actually do to these guys. That blew open some armor on that trebuchet. There goes the right arm. I think it's the left arm that actually has the LRM racks and the trebuchet hull. Be nice if they let us control the turrets, but can't get everything that you want, I don't think. Bloodwind's actually going to be fine, so let's worry about Ryan right now. If we jump you over here,
Prepping for jump.
keep your evasion high. Oh, I was kind of hoping one of those would have pierced the outer armor and done something neat, but no such luck. We still have 10 rounds to get over to and destroy the relay. So Ryan and Bloodwind are going to do kind of a flanking
Barely hit,
maneuver
Commander.
while we take pot shots at the rest of them. Speaking of Bloodwind, are you actually able to jump? Well, we'll make you jump anyway because your heat's not that high.
Copy that.
Got 9 rounds to get there, so we're going to have to basically skim alongside. The rest of them are only in missile range. Centurion? Or the trebuchet? That Jenner is almost gone. Let's actually fire at the Centurion. Then we might jump Phoenix down too and skirt around the outside as well.
Standing by.
Let's jump him right there. Long range is a good idea, but
Firing.
jump jet capable is also a good idea. There's a medium laser crit and a jump jet destroyed. It's a little unfair with the amount that we are outnumbered. Ryan, your next turn might have to be spent sprinting. Jenner is position of relative safety. I'm going to keep sitting up in the woods. Let's check. 40% on him, or we can go after the Hunchback, which has way better odds. Not seeing any orange text come up on the Hunchback just yet, so there's that. Is that dragon going after blood? Yeah, Bloodwind, you're going to have to just keep jumping like an idiot and taking pot shots as you go. Now we need these turrets to do some real work this time. Two particle projector cannons. Not seeing anything pop off, but they're breaching the armor all around and weakening them. That probably means the Jenner's going to get close to our Jägermech too. Or it could go around and try to flank Bloodwind. It's not really going to help you that much. Bloodwind, since you're taking most of the heat right now, I'll put you into the woods. Let's keep your evasion high. Killing the enemy mechs would be great, but at the same time we have to complete the mission, so we have to get to that control command center, the drop center, whatever it is, a lot quicker than dealing with these mechs will. And if they're focusing on us, they're going to leave the turrets alone.
Awaiting orders.
So Ryan, you're pretty much going to do the same thing, and you're going to sprint. That'll cool you off too. Does leave you devoid of cover, but I'm okay with that for right now. You're pretty much spot on as far as your armor goes. Phoenix, you are a different story though. Is that an arc or is that a straight shot? That is a straight shot. We're going to have you use your Shadowhawk as kind of the tipping point in this little fight. Go for the center torso on the back.
Rear armor it is.
There's the Trebuchet. I don't know what kind of range it's going to have right now. And it's not even really trying to engage us. That's the little scary part. We'll fire at the dragon too. Exposed its structure a little bit. And there's a torso destroyed. I think that's one set of its missiles down. Dragon's armor from the rear is exposed. Kinda hate using you as bait, Blood, but it's kinda what we gotta do right now. I was really hoping that would have been a right torso destroyed. Take that PPC out of the game, but that works. That's a Panther down.
The clock is ticking and that dropship is getting close. I'd recommend that you prioritize targeting the control center, Commander.
It's kind of what we're doing, Lady Arano. Alright, so Bloodwind, you're kind of in the middle of all of this crapstorm.
Roger that.
We have 7 rounds left to get over to the command center. So we're going to have to fire off at something. You only have 5 LRMs, but maybe it's enough to destroy this trebuchet? You hit him on the armor. So the turrets have really been doing a lot of work for us, taking down that Panther. It's no mean feat. Ryan?
Yes, Commander.
There's nothing you can really hit, so if we run you again... Or can you jump? You can actually jump to a position where you can fire that AC-10 off, so let's do that. It's not a great shot. but it's a chance.
Rear armor it is.
And it takes evasion off so that if Phoenix
Negative
comes up,
damage.
he can
Repeat.
hit
Negative
that guy
damage.
pretty good. That trebuchet hasn't really done anything for this entire fight.
Let's move.
Move the Shadowhawk up. Would it be worth it to fire into the rear armor of the dragon? Yeah, it's right arm,
Alpha strike.
right torso. It's fine, but there's an ammo explosion blowing off the left torso.
Heavy damage.
The more weapons we take out of action here, the better off we are. Is that Centurion gonna melee us? Or a Hunchback? That hurt a little bit. It's still got a light laser.
They've blown past my armor.
That took a lot of Phoenix's evasion out. Alright, can I get a shot on the dragon? Saw one up here. I want to move out of cover if I don't have to. Mech's already taken a fairly significant right torso hit. Let's just hope for some good shots in the rear armor of this guy. Now the dragon's turning around and exposing his back to a lot of turrets.
Systems holding.
Alright, so Phoenix is okay. We've got 7 turns, well 6 now. There's a knockdown and a destroyed leg. Knockdown injures the pilot too. There's a crit on his LRMs. Was that the dragon? Wow, the dragon's out of commission. And so is that trebuchet. That would have been a nice rear shot, but ain't too big of a deal. It's going to be the or Jenner. Jagermech. Or Jagermech's up on the mountain. I was thinking about what I was going to do with him.
Yes, Commander.
Let's have you jump, Blood. You and Ryan are going to get to that facility and take it out. That's a rear armor shot on that Hunchback, and we want him to go far later.
Locked on rear armor.
So we'll precision strike him to move him down in the initiative order. Centurion's weapons are pretty much scrapped as is. Ow! There's a hard shot on Phoenix.
Weapon system down.
So he's going to be going at initiative 2, so this should be all of our pilots able to do stuff. At least it was the right arm and torso and not his left. It still is a medium laser and an LRM that we have to replace now.
Reporting critical hit.
And Ryan, if you move towards the fight, you can get a bunch. But unfortunately, we don't have the time to spare for that. You and Bloodwind have to destroy that command center. And we'll probably mop up what's left here later. And the Hunchback didn't carry on with his little threat. Interesting. But he did expose his rear armor to our sniper. So, well, I'm technically only a sniper right now. But
Targeting rear armor.
And there goes his left torso and arm. Hurt his AC-20 and injured him. Now, with any luck at all, our turrets are going to really, really hamper these guys. Or just straight up kill them. That works too. There's a leg destroyed. Just gonna knock him down. I don't know if that's gonna actually injure that pilot and incapacitate him. Nope, just injure him. That'll be the Jenner moving around. Tons of evasion.
Commander?
Now, Ryan, the big question for you... Can we jump you into the facility yet? No, we cannot. But we can sit you over here like this, and the next turn we can jump you up there to start really hammering home on the objective. This is one of your last two AC shots. And you missed. Bloodwind? Oh, you can actually get in range to start shooting it now.
Location confirmed.
Your LRMs can start hitting it. You can see it with your PPC too? Oh. Well, okay then. We're not at risk of losing this at all based on the mission objective because, well, Bloodwind's got some extreme ranged weaponry. Alright, so the Jenner has 4 points of evasion. We jump Phoenix right there. Keep his left side exposed so his torso's not going to get screwed up. He might get shot in the back, but just going to have to deal with that as we deal. Centurion's probably not going to be able to get around him because he's got a crippled leg. And the turrets are going to probably do a lot of damage to him this turn. But since he wasn't able to move that well, we might be able to finish him off with the Jaeger mech. I don't want to move any closer to that Jenner. He's definitely capable of outpacing the Jaeger mech, but I'd rather just finish the Centurion off. Or at least put him in a place where the turrets can finish him off.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
There's some more PPCs being launched. And there's the Centurion down. Turrets have such long-range weaponry. There's a torso destroyed. And, wow, there's a knockdown too. It's 2 pilot injuries on the same shot. And with that leg knocked out, he's not really that much of a threat anymore. Biggest advantage of the Jenner is its speed. But he won't be able to build up evasion stacks anymore. Bringing it kind of down to the wire in some cases.
Orders.
Bloodwind, we're just going to get you to finish that dropship control center off. Alright, well done, Commander. Miss Meyer, are you inbound? Roger that, Lady Arano. I'm marking an LZ on your screen, Commander. Proceed to the designated coordinates for evac. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to obliterate this Jenner.
Orders.
And to that regard, let's jump Phoenix over here. I want to keep his left side facing this Jenner, especially since the Jenner can't outmaneuver us now.
Roger
See if you
that.
can finish him off, Phoenix. Just like that.
Mech destroyed.
Alright, that's done it. All communication between the spaceport and the Directorates reinforcement fleet just went down. Ground control, this is Koronok. We've lost you. Loud clanging. Nav support is offline. Where are the damn tugs? Louder clanging. Alarm klaxons begin to blare. Without ground support, their dropships won't be able to make planetfall. They'll be torn to pieces if they try. Congratulations. Panzer is as good as ours. And we have you to thank for it. Long live House Decimus, and long live the Arano Restoration. All targets eliminated. Sit tight, and I can collect you from where you're at right now.
Mission successful.
Well, that went over pretty well. Highly mobile mechs kind of did the thing for us. 1.7 million C-bills. So I'm going to be out for 17 days. Phoenix is going to be out for 17 days. We can slot Chaplain and die back into those spots. We have got to repair our Shadowhawk, though. And our Jaeger mech. Let's see what we got from the ground. Well, we have a dragon. We now have a dragon, because the turrets destroyed it in such a way that left us all 3 pieces of salvage. So we're going to take that. Were there any plus weapons out there? I don't really think there were. Lots of SRMs. There's an SRM 6++. We're going to take that. So that gives us a dragon. Another... Wow, that's a lot of SRMs. Dragon is not exactly heavily armored. Alright, we've done it. Thanks to your efforts, the Restoration Army has broken the Directorate's hold on Panzer. Lord Pierre-Louis Decimus has already pledged his house and his systems to my service. The Restoration is growing just as we hoped it would. And with his support, you gain territory, soldiers, and a bolstered supply chain. Not a bad deal for you, Lady Arano. Or for House Decimus, the Directorate took a scorched earth approach to Panzer's farmland. Without our ongoing support, the people here would starve. I am not my uncle, Darius. The Restoration gives as much as it takes. And your people will love you for it. That's for them to decide. Either way, I'll continue feeding them as long as they need it. I meant what I said when we liberated Weldry. These people are my responsibility, and I will help them, no matter the cost. Heart's in the right place, Lady Arano. It's a victory to be sure, but we're still a long way from Cormadir. And Director Espinosa has only just begun to marshal his forces. Things are going to get a lot more difficult as we push forward towards Smithian. The Directorate's military capabilities appear to be way out of line of our initial estimates. Somehow, they've gained access to weapons and battle mechs that are totally foreign to the Yagurigian reach. I swear I can English some days. Where do you think all this hardware is coming from? We don't know. House Espinosa has always had contacts within the inner sphere. Lady Victoria's personal battle mech is a prototype model that is almost impossible to find outside the Draconis Combine. But this radical new military buildup is something else entirely. Wherever these weapons are coming from, it's a recent development, and a troubling one. Hey, Lord Madeira, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's something here that you may want to see. Actually, you may all want to see this. I found something strange on the Argo's nav computer. Was there anything really on this strange that isn't... Well, anything on this ship that isn't strange? I'm looking at our mech warriors and saying no. Probably not, but this is, you know, stranger than the norm. It looks like an encrypted data archive on our secondary storage drive. It's just my best guess, mind you. Starleak era encryption software really isn't my area. SLDF tech? Really? We have SLDF tech? My father spent years trying to figure out how to get the Argo back to the Irigian space in one piece. He was obsessed with this ship. He felt that it was important somehow, and now this? I want that archive open, Dr. Murad. I need to know what's inside. With all due respect, Lady Arano, whatever's on that drive was sealed away for a reason. I've heard enough of these stories about lost tech, treasure hunting, to know that it's a bad idea. So why don't we just leave well enough alone? Because this archive could contain something of value, and because, as I previously mentioned, I have a personal connection with this ship. Our ship. I believe that this discovery is meant to lead us somewhere, and I intend to follow it. Well, she's our client. If she wants to check this thing out, then that's what we're going to do. That is what I want, yes, and thankfully we can follow this lead and pursue our campaign against the Directorate at the same time. The liberation of House Carosus on Smithian is already the restoration's next objective. Commandre, English, and Lord Simon Carosas was my father's chief technologist. Securing the help we need will cost us nothing that we aren't already planning to pay. Perhaps this is all just a coincidence, Miss Meyer, but I cannot help but seeing the hand of fate at work here. Mastiff taught me to pay heed to my intuition, and that's what I intend to do. That's the plan then. After we liberate Smithian, we'll have an audience with Lord Carosus. Yes, and shortly thereafter, we will see if my father's intuition about the Argo was justified. As before, I will contact you when we're ready to move on Smithian. For now, I'll take my leave of you. I have nobles to placate and an army to rally, and you have your own contracts to pursue, I'm sure. Yes, we do, Lady Arano. We're keeping busy, just as you asked us to. You all heard her. You got some time before the next leg of the Restoration's offensive, and our client wants us to make the most of it. Time is money, so let's get back to work. Okay, so Lady Arano's people scoured the spaceport and found a jackpot, Commander. Decommissioned Griffins. Lots of them. They'll never get them working with the repair facilities they've got, but between my team and the Argo's mech bay, I think we might. You can find them in the shop here on Panzer, so we can buy Griffin scrap. Nice. And the Dragon 1N is a beefy machine that can take a serious beating, but tends to be a little bit light on weaponry. And it moves fast for a heavy mech, though, which is well suited for closing for melee attacks against slower targets. Let's put our Centurion into storage and bring that Dragon up. Go to our mech bay. Let's refit this Shadowhawk. So a jump jet, LRM ammo, and an LRM-5. There's the LRM-5. LRM ammo. And a jump jet S. And just a medium laser on the right arm. Then we'll just repair everything. So that'll fix that up, and we'll just repair our Jaeger. So, the Dragon has an LRM-10 rack, an AC-5 with plenty of ammo, a couple of medium lasers. It's not exactly heavily armed, and it could fit another projectile weapon in its right arm. Could have a better missile rack set up too. We might have to refit that, but we're going to leave that for the next time. So that's going to do it for this week, guys. If you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video comes out. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.